Do this in 2025 if you are broken and alone. I'm broke and depressed. It feels like I have hit rock bottom. I completely understand you. I have been broke, busted, and disgusted too. And I think that's where the most power comes from. Once you are so ashamed of your situation, you are just so effed up of being effed up, is when you get all of this energy. And this energy needs then to be converted into a vehicle, having something you can put all this energy into. But everything starts with this fire in you. So don't take it in a wrong way that you are right now depressed and broke and you hit rock bottom, because that's actually where everyone has to be. And if you are there already, congratulations, because I have trained and coached and mentored over 45, 6 and 7 figure earners, hundreds of people in trading and investing that became successful. And you know what they all have in common is that they all came from depression, from being broke, and they hit rock bottom. But that's what made them successful in the first place, because that gave them a certain fire in them, the fire of never going back, the fear of never going back. And we always talk about fear in a negative way, but fear can be an insanely smart and big impact mover towards success and towards you achieving all of your goals and becoming the top one in the industry, in whatever endeavor industry you want to become the top one. There is a very big portion of success that is linked to traumas in the childhood. Most successful people have been depressed, have been hitting rock bottom, or felt like they cannot change, and they feel this heavy shoulder and heavy problems and burden. But that's where all the power comes from. Look, the worst day in my life was definitely the day I came back home from a party. I was a little bit drunk, and you need to understand that I lived together with my mom and my sister in a 2-bedroom apartment, right? So one room was for me, one room for my sister, and the kitchen/living room was my mom's room, where she had a sleeping couch, right? And I still remember I came home from this party. I was already 17, 18. I was already thinking about success. We were in a very desperate situation when it comes to money, and I knew that we are struggling with money every year from year to year, but it was still okay, you know what I mean? And I still remember I came back home from this party. I entered the main door and I heard someone crying, and it's either my sister or my mom, and I heard it comes from the right side. So I opened this kitchen door, which is basically just a glass window door, and I see my mom sitting there on the corner, or in the corner on her chair, cigarette in the hand, glass of wine, looking out of the window and just crying. And she didn't know that I was coming in, because she would have never cried in front of me, because she was always the strong person. She was always the hero, right? She would never show that she is weak. And I still remember when I came in and she could just not hold herself back and saw me, I saw her, and I saw a face full of desperation. I saw a face full of being hurt, of being sick and tired. And even if I talk about it right now, I get emotional as hell, because this is my trigger point. This is where my fire comes from, is seeing someone that I love in a position, beaten down years over years, having 3 jobs, struggling all the time. That is the situation that changed everything for me. So I think these situations, these experiences are important, because if not, you cannot build up this fire. So I would tell myself now that looking back, it was one of the worst situations, but also the situation that tipped the iceberg for me and made me successful today, and where all my energy comes from to build up the biggest trading community. Trade, invest every day, build a multi-million-dollar community and income, going to the gym every day, traveling and working on myself every day. All of this started because of this one situation experience. So congratulations, because you can use this energy of feeling depressed and hitting rock bottom, transfer it into fuel to drive into the direction of success. I know you're stuck in your situation right now. It seems like there's no end, you don't know where to go and what to do. The easiest way of getting out of your situation is changing your environment. You need to understand that depression and the current situation that you are in is your own fault. It's the result of your thoughts, your people around you, the input, the food, all the stuff that you put into yourself. Life is very easy. Everything you put in comes out again. And if you are not happy with the outcome, you need to change immediately the input. Depression is your body telling you and your mindset telling you that you need to change your situation. See it as a built-in warning system. That's why so many people are depressed, and instead of changing their environment, changing their job, changing their career, changing their relationship, or changing anything in general, they will stuff pills down and hope it will change. Nothing changes if you don't change. It's the easiest wisdom and the easiest thing to understand in life. So if you feel like you hit rock bottom, you're stuck in your situation and you feel depressed, the only thing you can do is changing your environment, because environment creates success or your downfall. I don't have any money to invest in myself. I understand that one of the most important points to get out of the situation that you so desperately feel of leaving is by investing into yourself. But investing into yourself also means there's money and cost behind that. But don't get me wrong. My biggest situation and my biggest down was when I was younger. I felt depressed because I couldn't change my situation. We had a lack of money and I was sick and tired. We were being thrown around from A to B. We could not help ourselves. Money was always a struggle. My mom was working 3 jobs and I just felt so much hatred in myself because I wanted to change the situation for my mom and my sister, and I had the fire in myself, but I just didn't know what to do. Actually, there was one thing that changed my whole life, and I talk about that openly many times. And that is seeing my mom struggling and crying because we don't have money. That ignited a fire in myself. And that fire then was used for me to take the first step into success, and that was investing into myself. Now, investing into yourself, many people are scared of or cannot because they don't have the money or the monetary means for that. But for me, a book for $17 was the change. The Secret was a book that I did not even have to pay. My best friend bought it and then gave it to me, but that's a book that changed my life. I think if you hit rock bottom and you are depressed and you don't know how to get out of your situation, you literally don't have money, then you should ask people for advice, have mentorship, surround yourself with successful people if possible, and if not, because that means investing money, then at least get a book. And if you cannot afford a book, then there's always a way. You can have an extra job, you can sell something, you can borrow $17 or $20 and buy the book The Secret. That's what I would do. I don't have anyone to support me. That is good, because support is something that you need to build up for yourself. Many people say, no one supports me, no one helps me, cry, all of these things I understand, but you need to become your own support system. The biggest thing is when men become men is when they understand there's no one that's gonna help you. Not your mom, not your dad, not your best friends. It's all about yourself. You need to support yourself. So if you don't have anyone supporting you, perfect. Become valuable. Read the book that I just said. Inherit value, get value. Get as much value as you can from books, YouTube videos, free audiobooks, mentorships. This YouTube video already is completely for free. You just need to have a phone, and the funny thing is more people have phones than people have bank accounts. I can't break my habits. I understand. You cannot break your habits because you don't have that fire in you. And maybe you just need more reasoning. What do I mean by that? In success, we always say that there needs to be an accumulation of reason. That means there needs to be enough things that hurt you so much that there's just one point, the whole thing explodes. And I exploded once I saw my mom crying because of money. That was the tip of the iceberg and made the big change in my life, because I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was so feeling bad about myself because we were always feeling bad about ourselves that we didn't have money. And I had all of these experiences and they needed to accumulate. My mom scarred, bouncing back while we are buying groceries and putting putting the groceries back, feeling ashamed. My mom crying because we don't have money, fights in between my family because we don't have money, problems with the law because we didn't have money and couldn't defend ourselves. All of these things needed to accumulate over the years. So I was really at the point where I wanted to tip everything over and everything exploded. And that's when I started to create success habits. When it comes to success habits in general, take it step for step. Nothing will change tomorrow, but the very first habit you need to take action on is personal development, reading a book. And some people will say, oh, here's another mentor is saying, read a book, it's gonna change your life. It is gonna fucking change your life. Trust me, it did change my life. The whole outcome of my life nowadays is because 10 years ago, my best friend gave me a book, and it was the very first book I read, because he said, here you have the answer towards success and how to free your mom and how to live a good life. And I read it and it changed my life. You need to start somewhere. And if you cannot break your habits, then you just don't want it. Success is something you desperately want as much as you want to breathe. And if you don't have that feeling that you want to have success as much as your lungs needs air to breathe, then you're just not ready yet. And that is okay. Maybe you just need to be beaten up a little bit more. Maybe you need to struggle for a couple of more years until one day you really wake up and you feel so ashamed about yourself that you're not living to your fullest potential. And that is the day your life is going to change. And this energy then used and focused on a book, advice, mentorship, a community, and into yourself, that is going to make the big change. And then you will be ready to adopt new habits. What does it actually mean to be hungry for success? How hungry were you? So hungry for success And that's, again, the easiest way I can describe it. And that's how it's described in the book, How to Think and Grow Rich, right? It is, you need to have a feeling for success, which is similar to how much your lungs really want to breathe and want air, right? So if I would tell you, stop breathing right now, and we would continue to do that until the very point where you just force yourself so much that you are not going to breathe and your lungs just start to scream for air or you die. That's the feeling that you need on how much you want success. That's where hungry really comes from. So if you have the feeling that you're so hungry for success as much as your lungs need air, then you are on the right point. And sometimes that builds up over years. Sometimes it's there from the beginning due to your past trauma and experiences, such as a personal experience I just shared with you guys. What was the hardest mindset shift I had to make when I were at my lowest? I guess the hardest mindset shift I had to make when I was at my lowest was definitely getting into success habits. I had very bad habits. I was very lazy. I was always finding excuses. I was always more focused on all the, let's say, theoretical things instead of really the practical things. Once I understood what the money-making activities are in any business or how I can go towards success by actually finding a vehicle, building up these vehicles, and the first vehicle I started in was a sales business and network marketing business, I had to obviously sell and talk to people. The more I talked to people, the more money I made. And in the beginning, I was insanely unsuccessful because I didn't have this mindset shift. The mindset shift of understanding what are the money-making activities. So I recommend you that you need to ask yourself the question right now, what are some activities that can make you money and help you out of the situation, right? If you identify that, that's something that is going to carry you towards success way easier than only being someone that is constantly researching things and knowing everything about the product and knowing everything. I was someone that was insanely busy and I was so occupied with the business, but I did not actually do what brings me the money, and that is shaking hands, setting up meetings, telling people about the business opportunity and selling them the product. So my mindset shift came once I understood what are the real activities that create real result. Every business, everything in life, you have activities that bring you money and you have the other things that don't bring you money, but they're also important activities. But you need to find out and separate what brings you towards success, and if you do more of it, you will become more successful, and what is just something that is eating up your time and you're just wasting your time that has no direct effect and no direct correlation to making more money and having more money in your pockets. So to sum all of this up, it's good that you are in a bad situation, because without a bad situation, you will never feel the power. You will never feel the hunger that then can be transitioned into real power. It's good that you're fucked up with your situation. It's good that you are fat. It's good that you don't look good. It's good that you're unhappy, but do something with it. Do something with this hate towards yourself. If you look into the mirror and you hate yourself right now, that is good. Use this energy. Use this hate. Wake up, go out there and do the things. If you want to lose weight, then stop eating this bullshit and go to the gym. If you want to make money, find a business, follow a mentor and sell the product. If you want to become more knowledgeable, read more books, watch good stuff, eat good food. That's completely normal. And if you do that, your life is going to change. So stand up and work towards the best version of yourself. You owe it to your family, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your future kids, to your partner. There's nothing more that I hate, and there's nothing more than God hates, is that people that are lazy and they know what they want to become, but they don't stand up and work on it. So if you are someone like that, then don't watch my videos anymore. But if you are someone that really wants to push hard, then congratulations. This video would be the right one for you to finally stand up. I believe in you. Make a plan. Start moving towards your dream life in the beginning of 2025. 2024 is going to be the last year where you're broke, it sucks to be yourself, and you are just lazy, eating bullshit, not going to the gym, not taking life by its balls.